Alright, so you may have seen a couple of videos where I was trying to fix a problem with my Sony TA-FB940R amplifier around switching sort of ticking noise just after startup after a few minutes, and then it sort of settled down. More of an annoyance than anything, because it didn't seem to be actually switching the speakers, strangely. I thought I'd got to the bottom of it with some dry joints, but then after the last video it came back, so sort of lived with it for a while. Just now I tried to use the headphones, so switched off the speakers, obviously the tick of the relay shut off the speakers, and I found that I could not get the headphones to work. Well, sort of, if you turn them on, the speakers on and off, the headphones might come on a little bit and then not. So I thought I'd have another look at the circuit. So you can see here, these are the speaker outputs, and you've got two relays here and down here, which switch both left and right channels for A or B sets. So that's fine. So this is what I was originally thinking might be switching, because obviously I knew there was some relay doing that, but then I was always perplexed why it didn't actually interrupt the sound through the speakers. So now I have a closer look, I realise that there's actually another one here, another relay, which is going off to something called HP headphone, presumably left and right. So I think this must be the one that is turning the headphones on and off. Now, normally you wouldn't be able to control this by the front panel, because that just turns the speakers either A or B, or A plus B, or none. But I think this has a power on function where it doesn't engage the headphones until the amplifier sort of settled down and got the right voltages and so on. And you can see that one of these lines to the relay goes to one of the main positive voltages through these resistors, and then it goes down to this with this microprocessor, which is labeled protection. So I think this will be sensing various fault conditions and startup. So I think there's a problem here. So I'm going to open up the amplifier and look around this relay, and so it might be a dry joint here, or to the microprocessor, or these. I mean, these are 0.5 watts, and you can see there's two of them in series, which would imply that they're doing this to split the power dissipation. So that might be a whole watt, which seems a little bit excessive, but anyway, I can't think why else you would have two resistors in series rather than just one with the same value. So that's normally why you would have this configuration. So possibly heating of these has dried the joints around here. So that's what I am going to guess or suspect. So I'm going to reflow the joints around here and the relay, probably, if I can get to them, and see if that finally solves the headphone problem and the ticking. So yeah, let's get the amplifier. Alright, so with the top cover off, I was able to identify the layout as the board jumpers come in, the two resistors that I showed on the circuit, and the diode, which is in parallel with lines that go into the relay up here. And so on the underside here, I can just sort of, it's just underneath this section here, but I can see these connections here, and here are the relay, slightly further under. So they look not too bad, but I'm going to reflow them and just try the amp and see if I still get the problem. Maybe I'll get lucky and maybe it's something there. If we still have the fault, we'll obviously have to dig a bit deeper. Well, so far so good. I just hooked up Source and was listening on the headphones as I turned on the power, and as soon as the protection light went off, I got sound through the headphones, so that was certainly better than the last time I tried. So at the top here, this is the relay for the headphones and the associated resistors and diode there, protection diode for the back EMF, of course. So, well, it's only one test. I'm going to have to just put the top on and use it for a few weeks to see if that is indeed reliable or it was just a one-off success. But, well, hopefully this is the last of this amplifier switching problem repair, but only time will tell. Anyway, I'll post the video probably after a few days and comment on it if indeed it is reliable and no more work is required. Alright, hopefully that is it. Thanks.